Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Monday, May 4th. I appreciate you being with us today. Just some updates. I do want to start out by reminding everyone that Friday was National Principal Appreciation Day, so I hope everyone appreciated their principals, and this week marks the beginning of Teacher Appreciation Week. Thank you so much to all of you as educators out there. I believe the COVID-19 pandemic has given everyone a chance to see the wisdom and strength and character of our teachers and our principals and all of our educators. Education requires empathy, curiosity, patience, knowledge, motivation, grace, and the ability to adapt quickly. As you know, it takes years to acquire the knowledge and skills needed to take on all of the facets of your education job. But it is also an enormously rewarding career. Our resolve as a society and a profession is being tested, and we are grateful for every North Dakota teacher and principal educator as they have risen to this challenge. Never has it been more clear that our schools and our educators are an absolute necessity to the functioning of our American culture and our daily life. Our schools provide irreplaceable services and benefits. They are the places of community fellowship, along with learning. We have produced numerous examples of innovation and transformation of education in a matter of just a few weeks, and we are leaders in this nation. I am so proud and blessed to be surrounded by the educational community in North Dakota who are absolutely committed to our students, our families, and our communities. Thank you to all of our educators in North Dakota for serving our students and their families so very well. So daily briefings, you might have noticed that we sent out a notification that today's briefing is now occurring at 2:30 today instead of 3 o'clock. This will be the time change going forward. The superintendent briefings will be held at 2:30 instead of 3 p.m. The Governor's News Conference is also changing this week. A Governor's News Conference will be on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday rather than his daily press briefing. Online viewership of the Governor's press conference drops off more than 30% after he makes his presentation. Special guests, media questions have much smaller audience, and so that was part of the data that went into making that decision. I want to talk a little bit about our ESSER funding. As of Friday, 5 applications have already been received and approved. As of Friday, all 5 applications from our school districts have already been received and approved. Thank you to those 5, and we look forward to getting quick and efficient turnaround to our other school district applications, certification packages as they come in. All of the money allocations for each district have been loaded into DPI's web grant system, so districts may become more efficient and claim their money after their initial applications have been approved. And a report about this and they will report later how it is spent. So we are committing to our promise and holding true to our commitment that these funds will be delivered efficiently without the bureaucratic red tape too often associated with these types of grant opportunities. The DPI website has more information on how the ESSER money has been allocated to each school district. I also want to talk about, as we move forward, as we think about what we will be utilizing as we move forward, thinking about closing out this school year and starting up summer school, extended school year, and school next fall. As you have likely received in your inboxes and through the media, there's a great number of conversations going on within the state, within our region, and within our nation about what school will look like and how we might need to do things differently. And I would like to share with you an idea with a report that I read this weekend discussing the 3 jobs that matter as we move through, as we deal with the existing, the current, we move through recovery, and we move into reinvention. 3 jobs that matter: responding to what we have in front of us today, beginning to think about recovery, but not only recovery as out of the box, as Larry on our team so eloquently pointed out to us from the Department of Emergency Services. Now is not the time to think about the box, because the box was actually burned up and thrown away about 6 weeks ago. Now is how do we begin to reimagine ourselves and reinvent ourselves so when we do return, however that may be, that we are a much better system and very different than we were before in terms of improvement. Schools should use the COVID-19 response as an opportunity to think about how to fundamentally change how we do business for efficiency and improved student outcomes. I will talk now probably about the issue that is on most everyone's mind, and that is high school graduation ceremonies. As you heard at the announcement at the press conference on Friday afternoon, we will be working with the governor's office on opportunities for our school districts to have and host their individual graduation ceremonies. We had preliminary guidance ready to go Friday afternoon. We've received some feedback from the governor's office over the weekend, and through this morning, we are now adjusting and modifying some of those guidances that we have provided. We have put together two different opportunities, one for school districts to host a graduation without the executive order being amended and no access to school facilities in case that is the situation that is determined as best for our state by our governor. So there's a set of guidance that will come out on how school districts might hold their own individual unique graduation ceremonies without access to school facilities. The second set of guidance that we have drafted is how a school district might utilize school facilities with a potential amended executive order, and we will present that to the governor if he deems that would be best for North Dakota. And those two different guidances will go to the governor's office by tomorrow morning. We are working with the Department of Health this afternoon, and we will get their input and guidance just as we did for the return to the North Dakota K-12 Smart Restart guidance that we put together last week. And of course, the Department of Health is the experts in this, and we want to make sure that we are adhering to their best practices of the North Dakota Department of Health and the Center for Disease Control, CDC. I know that there's been some speculation that we would be trying to replace our individual school and district graduations with a statewide graduation. I just want to put any rumors to bed right now that is not the case. That would not be the guidance that we are presenting to the governor's office or the solution that we would expect would be a replacement. We are putting forth guidance that would allow our school districts to have those unique districts and school building, high school building celebrations, and the guidance would be detailed on that. So again, not an idea to replace and take the place of individual school districts or high school building graduation ceremonies and celebrations, but instead offering guidance on how our school districts and school buildings might be able to offer that to their students. And so again, I know that there's been a number of rumors that have been speculated out there and been flying around out there that would be the department's suggestion, and it is not. And so I just wanted to clarify that and clear that up right now. The work that the department is doing is to provide the local control and the local decision-making authority to our local school boards as they work with their communities to make those decisions with their school administrators and high school seniors. So with that, I will end with a quote that I think is completely appropriate as we honor our educators. It's a quote by Lee Iacocca, the former auto industry executive, and he states, "In a completely rational society, the best of us would be teachers, and the rest of us would have to settle for something else." So again, Lee Iacocca, former auto industry executive, quote, "In a completely rational society, the best of us would be teachers and educators. The rest of us would have to settle for something else." So thank you for your time. I appreciate all that you do, and we will keep you informed as best we can. Thank you so much.